Aries, how are we today? I'm just doing our weekly reading. This week we're trying to get all the goss on you and your love life. Okay, so I do have 4 decks with me today. So starting off with the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. I also have the Slavic Folklore Lenormand, and then 2 of the love oracles. Okay, so we've got the Hidden Truth Love Oracle, as well as those beautiful heart-shaped Love Oracle cards. Okay, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate the support. But getting straight into it for you, Aries, what's the goss on Aries? What's going on for our Aries? Okay. Aries, raised by wolves. Okay, so that does say you belong. This is all about, that sense of belonging that you have with a person or a group of people. With that raised by wolves card, it really does talk about, like your wolf pack, your tribe, your crew, the people that you feel like you do belong with. And it's just that reminder to you at the moment that, yeah, you do belong with that person or group of people. Okay, so, it feels like with this card today, Aries, it does feel as though you may have been sort of questioning your place in the group or with people, but it's just that reminder to you that, yeah, you do belong. You do belong here in this world, regardless of, what's going on around you. There is always that sense of belonging that you can go home to. Okay, so you do belong, Aries, regardless of whether you feel like you do or not. All right, so we also have the Dinosaur Friends card, one of my personal favorites. My son absolutely loves dinosaurs, but this one does talk about childhood treasures resurfacing. Okay, so this can be things from your past. Obviously, it does refer to childhood. So maybe, reminiscing a little bit about things that have happened in your childhood. Certain toys, especially with the dinosaurs there, it can talk about, refinding a passion for something that you may have, really enjoyed doing when you were a child and refinding that sort of passion now for a very similar thing or something that reminds you of that thing. It can also talk about, coming across, old photos, toys, those sorts of things. Coming to surface for you this week. A bit of stuff going on there. Sometimes this can talk about people from, your childhood coming back to the surface in some way as well. But we'll have a look with the Lenormand and get a bit more info for you. Okay. What's the goss on Aries? What's going on for our Aries this week? Okay, and one more, please. Just one more. What comes after that, please? Okay. And the alternate? Sorry, Aries, just trying to get as much detail as possible for you. Okay, so for a lot of you, this energy we're seeing in those oracles of possibly something from your childhood or from your past. It definitely could be talking about. I'm getting the vibe of something that you're because we do see that you belong and the dinosaur friends together. This definitely can sort of talk about that sense of belonging within your inner child. Okay, that connection on an inner child level. So, having that in common with somebody or something. Okay, as well. I just wanted to mention that because we are seeing here with the Lenormand that for quite a lot of you, this may actually be connected to a specific person. All right, we do have the ring coming out first and foremost. So, even if it's not a specific person that you have a relationship with, it definitely could be, your relationship with your childhood self, with your inner child and your sense of belonging in the world as in relation to, what's coming through from your inner child. All right, but there's definitely a strong sort of relationship connection here, whether that be just within yourself or with an actual person. So for some of you, this definitely could be a relationship with somebody from your past, or with somebody that you do connect with. You feel like you belong with this person on a, on that inner child connection. So you may have very sort of similar but different sort of childhoods. It may actually be somebody from your own childhood, but it may also be, somebody that you're connecting with on that sort of level. You may have both experienced a lot of very similar type of relationships in your childhood that has sort of led you both to struggle with the same sort of things, and you kind of do belong to this greater community of, like, I'm just trying to find an example there. Well, I suppose for me, an example would be that, I am in a group for children, people who were raised by narcissistic mothers. So I do always connect with people who have mother issues and have struggled with, parent issues. So it may be something along those lines, where you're connecting with somebody where you both have actually, it doesn't even mean that the relationship has been the exact same, but the emotions and the way that you deal with things, are sort of linked in that sort of a way. I am feeling quite strongly that that's what you're belonging to, this personal community, in that sort of a sense, where it's connecting with your inner child, your inner trauma, your wounds, the things that have made you, the way that you are, made you deal with things in certain ways. I do feel that for a lot of you, that's what's kind of the community belonging sort of vibe coming through, but with that childhood recollection coming through with that as well. So similar, things might be popping up this week, that you're realizing that, so and so deals with something the same way that I do, or a different way that I do, because of our childhood, stuff. I'm just getting that quite strongly. That's a lot of that's coming through intuitively, but for some of you, it definitely could just be in relation to, somebody that you have known from your childhood, that sort of thing as well. But we are clearly seeing here some sort of news on the way. We have the Herald here, which is it does really talk about news with this particular deck, even though it is the stork energy. It talks about, not so much outright news or messages, but on an energy level, there's some sort of news or messages, getting stirred up, that energy getting stirred up between you and this person, a lot of changes and movement, maybe towards reconnecting with this person. All right. So it definitely can talk about that transition from, those relationships in the past, now transitioning into, that mature relationship now. So I do feel that for a lot of you, there's something getting stirred up here, by that connection, by that, those childhood memories resurfacing. It's really stirring up some movement in your life, Aries. We do have the Crossroad card as well. All right, so this is, the path, the crossroads. It really does talk about a choice or decision. This is going to lead you to sort of having to make some sort of choice or decision with, where you want to go from here. Which path are you going to take in your life? It does have that slight energy there of, no matter what path you take, you are on the right path for yourself. But it does clearly feel as though, something getting stirred up for you here, looking back at past relationships, especially those where, you felt like you belonged, or you maybe have, had that child connection somehow with that person. And it leading you to sort of make some sort of decision toward, where you're going in the future. All right, regardless of whether that decision is, inclusive of that person or not. Because we do have, I have sort of drawn one card for each side of that decision. All right, so one direction on that path is going to be taking you towards this fish energy, which is a lot of abundance and wealth being created for you. It can talk about, an increase in money and that sort of stuff, but I do feel as though it's just talking about, a lot of options for you, an abundance of, love, energy, choice coming through. So you may have multiple choices involved with, if I choose to follow this path, there may be more choices down the road that you're needing to sort of make with that particular path. The other path is actually the snake energy. All right, so I do feel as though this snake energy, it's kind of, you know, it's sort of telling me that it's like, if you choose this other path, it's you're deceiving yourself in a way. All right, the snake can quite often be about, temptation, and um, that deceit kind of stuff, that energy of deceiving yourself about something. So I do feel that for a lot of you, the right path is this fish energy. And if you like, because I'm kind of getting with that snake energy that, if when you're making some sort of a choice about where you want to go for the future, that the temptation to take the easy path is you deceiving yourself that you don't want something. Okay, so it's just coming through a bit jagged. Um, okay, I'll grab a couple of extra cards. Okay, Aries. Um, what what is that card? What is that choice in specific for our Aries? Okay, so it's choosing some sort of conversation. We do have the bird here. Okay, so the bird does talk about some sort of conversation, talking things through. It could be a phone call. So I feel as though, there is a bit of anxiety that does come through with this at the moment. But on the other side of that, there's a lot of excitement and that, you know, chatting sort of vibe. So I feel like for a lot of you, that decision is whether or not you're going to, have a conversation with somebody. Highly possible this person that we've identified earlier in the reading here, and having a conversation with this person, it's either going to lead to an abundance of positivity for you. That fish is definitely positive, or I feel like I'm feeling like that. Yeah, I'm feeling like that snake energy is you choosing to avoid this conversation. Okay, so that's the deceit, is that you deceiving yourself that this conversation doesn't need to happen. Okay, so advice for Aries here. Advice for Aries. Okay, Aries. So I am seeing here the house, as well as the moon. All right. So the house energy. The house energy is all about your stability and your emotional security. All right, because especially with that moon here, the moon is all about emotions and following your intuition. All right, so you intuitively know that you need to have this conversation and that you need to decide to have this conversation. And I do feel like with the house energy there, it is actually coming through very similar to a message I got for Cancer, which was, go to that person's house if you have to have, go to their house to have this conversation if you need to, or go to a childhood home, go to your home, go home. It definitely could be talking about a physical house here, where you do have strong emotional connection to this, sense of family. It's that belonging once again, if you feel like you belong and you intuitively feel like you belong with that person or that place, it's prompting your advice being to, follow your intuition toward that, and it will lead you to prosperity. All right, and abundance. The wealth of everything that you're sort of wanting comes in with that fish energy. All right, so I do feel here that it may be suggesting to go ahead and have that conversation, and I don't normally like to go too far into what choice should you make, but this is kind of telling us pretty clearly that one direction here is you sort of denying your intuition, which is that snake energy there. So You know, you kind of intuitively know what decision you need to make already, Aries. All right, but we'll have a look at love as well. Okay, what's the goss on Aries love life? Okay, what's the goss on Aries in their love life, please? Okay, Aries. Okay, so very interesting. I'm actually getting your energy as well as somebody else's energy here. And then a joining energy. So I'm getting one of each and then a middle one as well. So um, there is a person here that is burying themselves in work to forget you, Aries. So trying to keep themselves really busy in order to try to not think about Aries. All right. So, and we have you here. I'm starting to understand our connection. So for some of you, this may actually be the same person that we're seeing here. You're starting to understand that this person and yourself are connecting on that like we were talking about, that belonging, that child linking thing there. So, you know, I do feel that for some of you there is some sort of link between you and this person, you know, with your inner child, and you're sort of starting to understand that, Aries. And then we have in the middle, which is going both ways here, I'm so attracted to you. All right, so this person is very attracted to you. You probably find yourself very attracted to them as well, Aries. But we'll have a look with the love oracle. Okay, what's the goss on Aries? What's the goss on Aries and their love life, please? Aries. Not wanting to share, Aries. Okay, what's the goss on Aries? Okay, what's the goss on Aries person? What's the goss on Aries person? There we go. They're more willing to talk than you are, Aries. Aries. Okay. Romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. There we go. So definitely that attraction coming through once again. We also have secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on, Aries. So, you know, this may be someone you are aware of or maybe not. Someone having very deep feelings for you. And you know, I'm kind of just intuitively feeling, Aries, that you may already know about this and you're just sort of letting yourself believe that they don't feel as deeply as they actually do. All right. I am actually getting that self-deceit coming back through a little bit here with that card. It feels like this person is sort of showing me the snake card again. So they're showing me that, you know, Aries knows that I like them and I have deep feelings for them, but they're just kind of in denial about it. And with that, you know, with that attraction coming through both ways, there's a high possibility that, you know, you may have deeper feelings for this person as well. So I am getting a little bit of an element of potential mirroring coming through here as well, Aries, that, you know, you and this person may actually be mirroring each other in a few ways. So which does lead me to believe once again that there may be some sort of connection here with, you know, the childhood stuff once again, because, you know, when we have been through similar things in our lives, similar experiences, similar emotions, you know, a lot of the time it does come through as mirroring when we're in a connection with somebody. All right, but that's what we have for you today, Aries. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Getting so close to the full moon, you know, your moon sign probably is a good one to check. But hopefully I'll see you all again soon.